Hello, it's Frank here, if that one web guy, and I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to show you some cool tricks on your Mac that you can use for keyboard shortcuts. Now, I do a lot of keyboarding and things like that, and it's a lot easier just for me to either memorize or just use the keyboard shortcuts to get certain features. And like if I'm doing a graphics application and I want to put a copyright or a trademark or something like that, or doing some coding or programming, or just normal chatting. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll open up just a text editor and of course get a message there. So just have some text here, and sometimes you're typing along, and instead of a lot of times we hit the keyboard and just arrow through the keys a letter at a time. Sometimes you just want to get to the end of the keys. So if you want to, the fastest way to do that is just hit Command on your keyboard, or push the keyboard, however you want to say that, and either use the left arrow key to get to the front or the right arrow key to get to the back. Now another cool option, of course, is to use the Option key, and you can do one word at a time instead of the whole thing. And of course one letter is just either the keys themselves. What some people don't know is to get to the end, if you're trying to copy a whole sentence, you can hold the Command key and the Shift and then the arrow key of the direction you want to go, and you selected the whole thing. So then you could copy and paste or whatever you want to do. Same thing if you're at the other end. If you're at the end wanting to go forward, you Command Shift and select that, and then Command C and Command V. Of course, on the Mac or on the PC that doesn't work as well. You have to use the End key or the Home key and Shift as well. But I'm focusing on the Mac today, so I'll just stick with that. So on to special characters. Now sometimes we have certain letters that we want to input that have the characters over them, like the E. If you hold down the keyboard, you'll notice that a flyout will pop up with the different accents that we could use, and you can either go up and select them with your mouse, or you can just click the number below. So if I wanted the umlaut with the 4, I could just push that, and we have that there as well. And of course that works with all of the vowels, O, as you can see there, or I, U, so you can do each of those that you need. Now a lot of times when I'm typing, somebody will ask what the temperature is, and a lot of times we just say 32 or whatever. There is an option where you can, of course, just push, if you're wanting to get 32 degrees, you want the degree symbol, you can push the Option and the 0, and you'll get the degree option. Now if you know what some of these are, like I think it's Option G, you get the copyright, Option R, you get the registered trademark, and things like that. And those are ones you just remember eventually. Just because I use them a lot, I can remember those. But if you don't remember those and you want to get to them quickly, you can add a certain shortcut to your keyboard. Now I already have it set up there, but let me go ahead and show you the keystroke also for the smileys and stuff like that, emojicons. That's what emoticons. So if you want to hit Control, Command, and Space on your keyboard, you'll see the smiley flyout pop up, and then you can just insert whatever smiley you want that you can want there. And of course you can search for them. You can go, that's the most favorites that you've used, and of course you can just all the options that you have there. So that comes in handy. And of course if you click the last one, it has a flyout. It switches to some of the ones that we talked about: registered trademark, copyright, and things like that, trademark, those things. And of course the pictographs, and for some reason or another you get card symbols, dominoes, bullets and stars, and things like that. So that comes in handy if you're doing a lot of print editing and things of that sort. You can also look at, once we enabled, I already have this enabled and I'll show you how to get this, but if you click here, you can see a flyout and you get it in a different format. You can see the layout's a little bit different here. So you can scroll a different way, you can see the food and drink, but you can also see the arrows. You can then see some of the other ones, like it says related characters. You can see those over here. Currency symbols, so you can get that. So there's the cent sign, which a lot of people, they just skip that and just put $, 0, dot, and then the cents. So, and of course there's the math symbols, parentheses, and things. So there's a lot that we can do there as well. So if we want to add this character here, what this does is, of course, we can show the emoji like we have, or which is what we had just a moment ago. Let me go ahead and put it back. Show emojis and symbols. I'm going to go ahead and put it back to the way you would normally see it, is this way. And one thing I want to show you here, a lot of people don't realize, is that we have different character or skin colors if you wanted to use those. So if you hold that down, you can then, I think if you just click it once, you can then switch whichever skin color you want. And that's a lot for a lot of the different ones like that. You could change them at any time, of course, as well, before you insert them. Yep, that's what I thought. It's in there clicking and it got a bunch of them in there. So any of the faces and things like that, you can change the skin color for before you insert them, so you can insert them that way. So let's go ahead and move forward with our the panel here. So we can click the show keyboards viewer, and before I go much further there, I'm going to show you where that's at. You can go into your system settings, system preferences. Let's go ahead and close this, and we can go to keyboards down here, and there's this option right here, show keyboard and emoji in viewers or menu bar. So if we click that, sometimes it will disappear. I've already had it on. It will show also the international. Depends on how, depends on your settings and things like that. Sometimes it shows this icon. Sometimes if you turn it off, it disappears, or it shows the American flag because I'm using the American keyboard. If you have a different keyboard settings, you can then, of course, it would show your flag there as well. So once you have that disabled, I'm sure once I hit save, it'll go away. But to get the panel to fly out or show that up there, you click this and it'll show this thing there, which I'm still learning a lot of the keystrokes. So we can click on this, and you can actually type this way if you decided you wanted to. And of course, to get any of these that have the character on there, that's just the shift key to get that, and then you can insert it that way as well. If you hold the option key, you notice we get some of those that we talked about. You can see on the 0, you can see the degrees. We have the copyright on the G, so you can kind of learn them that way. The registered trademark there, the pi over here on the P, and things like that. If you click command shift, you can see some different things happen. Command control, no, just command option. So different things happen when you do different things there. There we go. It's shift and option. You can see those different things as well. So that allows you to get the different characters. And again, you can just enter them this way, or once you get to know them. So if I hit if I know that if it's that way, I hit shift option 2 and it enters it, or shift option G, you get that character. So you get different things there. So I think that gets to the point across, and you can see how that is very helpful. Once you have that in place, of course, whatever you've done, you can of course close this by closing the X, and you have those settings. So and of course, the different keyboard commands I wanted to point out are a little bit different for each of the American keyboard, or the whichever, the Spanish keyboard and things like that. So the characters may look different. And also a thing to point out is if you're using something other than Helvetica, and some of those, Helvetica or Arial or something like that, some of your more common fonts will have all those characters. But sometimes if you click a custom font, they may not have all those characters and those same key patterns. So keep that in mind as you do that. You may need to, as you're typing along, you're using a different character, you may need to switch to Helvetica or Arial to get the character that you need, and then switch back and continue typing. I hope you found that useful, and we'll be back with another video soon.